Hi, I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for TTN HD Production Live, here with Hayden Black and Laura Silverman for the first ever half-hour scripted web series on the web called Goodnight Burbank. Can you tell me a little bit about the show?
Yeah, it's a comedy about the people who bring us the news. So when they and specifically about a newscast who come out of Burbank because the studio has burned down, so they're now shooting in a garage. And I play one of the anchors, and Laura plays the one of the people on the show, one of the other co-anchors.
Great. I play the star of the show. I don't know if that's the character name. I don't know. I don't read the scripts.
And how did you get involved in the show, Laura?
I guess we were both doing a show at Largo, like a comedy show, and I had never met Hayden. We were doing sort of a show with a mutual friend, and we were backstage for a really long time before it was our time to go on. And during that time, he just sort of pounced on me and tried to convince me to read his script and do his thing. And
I was wearing a dress at the time.
He was wearing a dress, and he was dressed in this character of Abby, which is another web thing that he does that's very funny. And I gave him some fashion tips too that helped that out a little bit. He looked like sort of like the Orthodox Jewish version of a teenager, and I was like, "Is that what you're going for?" And he was like, "No, pull the skirt up a little." It was like down around his ankles, like a prairie, Little House on the Prairie.
But it worked.
Yeah, it was very funny. Okay, so yeah, but I didn't know like if it was just, you just never know what to think because everybody's doing something, and I didn't know if like I was just the only sort of poor excuse for a name that he could find, and if it was like a good fit. And I read it, and I was like, I liked it a lot. I was really pleasantly surprised, but I didn't know if it was very different from anything I played before, and I thought it'd be a good challenge, but I just wanted to make sure that he really wanted me to do it, and not just like was sort of scrambling for somebody. So we started meeting and talking about it, and it really kind of developed into something that I was very excited about, and I think it's good, and it's evolved and grown a lot as we've been going along, and it's cool. I like it. I'm really glad that Hayden is as sort of aggressive and annoying as he is, because I never would have.
Oh, that's sweet.
No, actually, I consider him to be like one of my best friends now in just this short time. Like, we really clicked. He's all right.
Oh, that's very sweet. Laura, right? She's been fantastic. No, it was great. I sent her a script, and she wrote me back and said, "Would you be interested in maybe giving me the lead role?" I'm like, I would never have thought in a million years to ask her for that, because I wouldn't have thought she would have said yes. So I was over the moon, and I knew immediately the project was already going from there to there with just having her on board. So.
Are you crying?
Yeah.
Oh my.
You're so hot.
No, I'm not.
So let's talk a little bit about the comedy of the whole thing. It is a sitcom.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay, and
although I think what we want to call. Prior to this, we've only had 5-minute webisodes, and I don't want this to be known as webisodic only because it implies that it's much shorter, and this is a full commercial half hour. So I'm throwing out the word WEBCOM just to begin with, because this is a situation comedy for the web. So
Okay. You should trademark that.
But then only we'd be able to use
hot.
it. She did?
That's hot. She did. Yeah.
Wow, that's hot. Oh shit! Now, yeah.
yeah.
Two of us. Just bleep that bit out.
Okay.
So we're very proud. The comedy and Laura also writes the occasional line here and there, and has just helped elevate it. I mean, seriously, when you see her in this, it's a phenomenal performance that she gives, and behind the scenes, she's always back there complaining and pushing me forward with her complaints.
Do you do a lot of improv on set, or is it, you said it's all scripted, but is there any?
It is scripted, and Hayden writes the scripts, and I sort of, as I've made myself consulting producer, which I took to mean like that you know, I can, you know, if I think that it would be funnier to do it another way or change lines or whatever, he just like completely embraces all of my suggestions and is very grateful.
She can complain officially, is what the consulting producer titled
it. And make the show
is.
a lot better.
Well, your presence makes the show a lot better.
No, we do, like, it is scripted, but we do improvise quite a bit just within that. And when we know we have it, which a lot of, you know, comedy shows will do too, like, you want to make use of what you have. So, you know, when we know we have it as scripted, we can do some takes and just like go nuts and see what happens, and it's, you know, it's fun.
Yeah, there's some lines have arisen that we were playing with before the cameras shot, and we were like, oh, let's keep that in, let's add that in, and but it's, you know, 95% of it's scripted.
And have you been having a lot of fun making it so far?
Yes,
yeah.
Tremendous. I mean, it's been an amazing ride. We start. I mean, because we've got very, very limited resources to do a half-hour show, and to do it professional. You know, we want this to be really, really good.
I think the budget is about like $90 to $100 an episode.
It's a little more than what we do have, but no, it's very limited, very tight. But we've had different crews come on board, different directors, all working within the creative box that I've given them, because I developed the show a year ago and came up with how it was going to look, and you know, when we talk to the news cameras, we see it from the perspective of that camera, and then when we do the behind the scenes stuff, it all looks like a kind of a cinema verite, you know, fly-on-the-wall documentary, even though it is not. We don't look at the camera, we don't engage it or acknowledge it. It's just, you know, that style that we've appropriated. And the directors have come on board, have just done a phenomenal job, you know, within that. And we've just we've had a ton of fun. Some huge guest stars that have come on board and have really been so much fun to work with, and have taken it like to a fish to water type of thing. And it's been great. It's each episode, I think, we shoot over 3 nights. And
like 4 p.m. to 3 or 4 a.m. out here in the freezing cold, even though it's supposed to be hot because it's Burbank, but it's not. Freezing. And it's tough, but I think it just makes everybody, like, the sort of scrappiness of it just makes everybody really, like, reminds everybody all the time how much we really care about it and how much we just want, like, love it and want to do it, because there's no other incentive except for that. It's just like, it feels like something worthwhile to do, because it's good writing.
3, and she was so sick, and I mean incredibly sick.
Really, really sick.
And
I completely lost my voice, and so we just wrote it into the script because there was like a situation in which I would, you know, had to scream, and so we just wrote it into the script that I lost my voice screaming, and the whole episode I was just like squeaking out words.
And it was real.
It was real.
She was here.
And I was here, and I wouldn't have thought of leaving.
And we all wanted her to leave. We didn't want to get sick. But
yeah.
we figured if she wanted to be selfish, what could you do? She's the big star.
True, it's true. Huge star. What I really like about the show, like watching it back, the couple episodes now that are put together, it's completely over the top in every way, but the way that it plays, it's so intimate and quiet, and you really feel like you're watching something that's really happening between, like, you know, just these small groupings of people having these private conversations, and there's something about it that's like kind of just very intimate and draws you in, and it's like not loud and in your face with a lot of, you know, sort of, you know, people are always falling from the ceiling and stuff like that, but it still stays very kind of, I don't want to say intimate again, but intimate. I don't know how else to say it, because it's a nice quality for a wacky comedy to just have everything feel so close and quiet and yeah, nice.
Kind of like real and human.
Yeah.
And
yes, but
the show is very naturalistic and very, you know, like the big direction I give everybody before they come on board is dial it down. So we are kind of peering in. And,
but the difference is between what a lot of people try to do, which is just this overly naturalistic thing where people just sort of improvise and they go on, and it just becomes sort of like very unfocused. It's very focused, over the top comedy that's written very specifically and very carefully, and then it just becomes this really organic thing from that, and I love that about it. that makes me think that Hayden is kind of smart.
Would you like to do season 2? Too early to tell. Did I go too far?
Later.
Sorry.
I'm kind of hoping that this is gonna like springboard me into something better.
Just leave me back here.
Wow, this is so exciting. When can we expect to see the show, and where can we check it out?
Well, I'm hoping that the show premieres in late March. We'll have 6 episodes, 6 half-hour episodes. You will definitely be able to see them on goodnightburbank.com. And we're looking into other ways of getting them out there. We may be doing an app on iPads and iPhones, and that way you can possibly download them within that app as well. And then we'll make them available on DVD and so on and so forth.
Okay, wow. Well, I look forward to seeing the show and hearing more, and I wish you guys the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for TTN HD Production Live.
She's adorable.